Krash Talk, baby.
Yep.
We back.
We back, baby. Krash Talk, episode 21. We got our guest over here.
21.
Universal Yogi, Acroyoga, traveler of all worlds. We got
High school friend.
high school homie from Crash Indigo over here. New friend of mine from the studio. Please welcome special guest, Evan.
How's it going, guys?
Chilling, bro. Welcome to the fucking show.
Thank you. It's an
Welcome to the
honor.
show.
It's an absolute honor, guys.
Yeah.
The third guest ever. And we appreciate you coming out here, man. We know that we weren't super close, but we also weren't super far. So.
Exactly, yeah. No, man, we've been
it,
staying on touch online, and seeing everyone's journey.
And I'm super excited just because David has only told me so much about you. But my favorite part about that is like, dude, I don't think we've really hung out, but we keep up with each other online.
Yeah.
Which is something we all pretty much do, you know, like in this social world.
Mm-hmm.
And just through following you recently,
right.
2 weeks ago,
Right.
I felt like I know a piece of you now.
Yeah.
But he's always told me that, like, dude, I got this friend Evan. He fucking travels the world, bro. And he showed me that Vimeo you had.
Oh yeah, sweet, man.
From Costa Rica.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Fucking sick.
Yeah. I need to do more video editing, man. That's like I take forever on those, so it's always like a couple years behind. But yeah, man, got like I think it was like 30 countries here. Recently, last one was Australia. And yeah, it's just
Dude,
good,
that's
man.
crazy.
Yeah.
So earlier when you were saying like, I forgot what we were saying, but you were discussing your college experience, and I was like, you went to college?
Yeah.
In my mind, I just remember like checking in with you.
Oh, just fucking traveling.
And you were just out in the world, and I was like, oh fuck, like
straight from high
this
school,
guy's
huh?
tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just because you and I never hung out like during school or anything. We just had a track together. So it was just super tight, and I think that's why I always just kind of kept my eye on you because I'm like, dude, he's doing what I want to do, like just fucking traveling, just doing it.
No, thanks, man.
Backpacking, I imagine.
Yeah.
When did you first start traveling, and like where'd you go first?
So, I mean, technically, I think the first abroad country aside from Mexico was Germany, and I went there with my aunt, uncle, cousin, and my mom, and we did like a river cruise, and we went to the Czech Republic. That was the first one, but then with Ashley, who's my girlfriend or my fiance. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Love in the air. Valentine's Day special here. Shout out to Ashley.
Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, no, Ashley, she's always been like super into traveling. She's got family in Colombia and Venezuela. She was like going down to Venezuela when she was like, I think she was like 8 years old or something with just her sister. So she's always like had the bug in her. And so then in 2014, we went out to Europe and did like 7 different countries, I think, while we were in Europe. I took some Spanish classes in Barcelona, which was good, but like pretty much everyone there speaks Catalan. So then some people are super rude to you when you try to speak Spanish, and they're like, solo Catalan, and just walk off. Yeah, and you're like, all right, whatever.
What is Catalan?
Catalan, so like there's different regions in Spain, and in that region it's Catalunya, and so they have like their own language. I think it's like a mix between like French and Spanish. That's what it sounds like when I hear it. But yeah, they're like super prideful. They actually want to like secede away from Spain. And then there's also
sounds super fucking sexy.
Yeah.
Like, they say French, or was it France? French is like the romance language.
Yeah, right.
Mixing that with Espanol.
Yeah.
Like, wow, talk about hot boy shit.
There you go. No, it's
fuck boy shit.
I'm trying to think of like I wasn't really paying attention to it, but it I guess that would be like a pretty big love language, I guess, right? Yeah.
Okay. So I mean to interrupt. So you got Catalan, they're trying to secede. Barcelona's trying to secede from Spain.
Yeah. I mean, they always say like, we're Barcelona, we make like most of the money out of this country, like
Sounds like California.
I was about to say that.
Yeah. Seriously, it really is, but. I don't know. I don't have a political stance on it. Like, get super serious, but it's pretty interesting. But
that's dope. My brother went out to Spain for his honeymoon, and us growing up in a very traditional, just like Mexican home, the Mexican Spanish is it can be so formal and so just like kind. Yeah. We say like usted and like and he said that he went out there and like people were giving him looks like, you don't say usted, you don't say like just like you don't have that type of like courtesy the way Mexicans do. Yeah. And I thought that was really interesting.
Absolutely. They like a lot of the Latin American Spanish they say is like very antiguo, it's like old school Spanish, so
fucked.
Te amo like they don't say that. They just say te quiero. If you say te amo, it's like you're a knight to a princess. Like, oh, like I would die for you kind of deal. They're like, no, like we don't say that, you know. And they say the vosotros a lot. So they're like, ¿cómo estáis?
Oh, shit.
It's cool, but...
I'm getting flashbacks of fucking high school Spanish AP class. Vosotros. Telling my teacher, I was like, Mom, what's vosotros? Mom's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's from Mexico.
Yeah.
That's funny. So 2014, 7 countries. And you had 2 countries before that.
Yeah.
How long were you in those countries for? A whole year?
We spent most of our time in Spain. Once again, my girlfriend or my fiance has a lot of family in Spain. So Barcelona, we were there. There's no family there. But we hung out there for like a month. I took a Spanish course while I was out there. And then afterwards, we went over to Madrid for a few days, then down to Granada and went to like Alhambra and stuff. And she had some family down there. And then we went to Lanzarote, which are the Canary Islands, and chilled there for like 2 weeks. And then we went and did like 3 weeks. And we just like took the Eurail, which is like their train system. You can buy a ticket and it's like unlimited rides, but you pay like $1,000 or something, right? And then you can just hop on the train, like book it a day or two before, and then just go anywhere. And so we were going like, went to Paris, chilled there for a while, then went up into like Belgium, Netherlands, and came back around, went down into Germany, Austria, Italy. Like it was super cool. Yeah.
Would you guys just Airbnb there or crash the spot?
Hostels, Airbnb. Yeah, just kind of like the cheapest way possible. Yeah. Because the way it worked was like, basically I would work with my dad over the summer, just save. I was going to community college at the time. And then, like on our summer break or something like that, or winter break, I would take off and then we would go and just like on a budget, try to like hit as much as we could.
That's so tight. Yeah. Because from an outsider looking in, I just thought you were always out there. And I was just like, damn, like this man graduated high school and just left. Just left.
Dude, that's Instagram for you though. Cause I was working back at Cabazon. I was, I think I was at Hugo Boss or something. And I ran into like an old high school buddy. They're like, what are you doing here? Like, aren't you in like? And I was like, no, like I just travel in my off time, you know? And, but you know, like
time, years at a time.
Yeah.
Fucking living the dream.
Just my off time, 2014 to 17. That's all it was.
You know, it's like everyone would hit me up and they're like, how do you travel like that? How do you like, what's the secret? What are you doing? You know? And it's like, the thing is you just have to make it a priority. Yeah. Everyone thinks that like there's some secret to travel, but no, it's like Ashley and I, we would save our money. We wouldn't go out. You know what I mean? We would eat at home a lot, or we would not go out on the weekends, at least like not bar hopping and stuff, because dude, you go out, you drop like $100, $150 in one night. And it's like, that's in certain countries, that's a lot of like experience right there. Yeah. I mean,
how many hostel nights does that get you?
Dude, okay, so some of the, like one of the cheapest places I've been is Bali, Indonesia. And on Airbnb, we found a place for 19 nights, and it was like $270. Yeah, and this was like
Bali, bro.
Yeah,
Bali, bro.
Like this was like private room, like your own shower, everything private. You know, like air conditioning, breakfast included, and it was like $270 for like 19 nights. Yeah,
I'm gonna take my studio out there and just record.
Yeah. Well, dude, these are hidden gems. Like, how many folks our age want to travel, but they don't have the keys? You're giving us the keys, and you're saying just prioritize and save.
Exactly.
That's the thing. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Say like make it a priority. Yeah. I mean, it's basically like you just have to find where are you spending, you know, and then like if it's not really a priority, like move it into the other direction. And like one thing I would do is like I would always try to pay cash, and then all the change I would get, I would just save it up, right? And I think when I went to Europe, I was saving it for a minute, but I made like $600 in change, you know, like that was crazy. That was a lot of like
working here.
Yeah. Okay. Just like while I'm out here, like I'll just pay cash everything, you know, and then like when I get change back, I just like put it in the piggy bank and
Damn,
so,
dude.
And then choosing your country, like Europe, super pricey. When I went there, it was like for every euro, it was like $1.40. So it was really expensive at the time. But then I don't know, you go to like Colombia, Argentina, and it's like, man, you get a meal for like $3.
Dang.
Like for real, like you go and you get the menu del dia, and they have like a soup, a juice, some kind of meat, some rice, some beans, and it's like $3.50.
Damn,
it's crazy.
Living the dream.
Like full on meal. Yeah.
That's nuts, bro. Like, would you, because I know there's a lot of people skeptics, like one myself sometimes, of like you going to these third world countries, right? Of there being like, oh, they're out to get Americans. You know, does it feel that way when you're there? Because you do look predominantly American.
No, I'm super gringo, dude. I would say like, honestly, my whole family, they're kind of traditional in that sense. And yeah, they're always like, every time I'm about to go on a trip, they're like, oh, be careful, like hide your stuff, blah, blah. And it's like, you get there. And the thing is like, if you don't go looking for the crazy stuff, it's not going to really just come out and find you. You know what I mean? If you're out there like trying to find like cocaine and stuff, like, okay, you're going into like sketchy areas. But if you just go to like tourist spots, go see the like nice little areas, like go to the cafes, whatever, like you're going to be fine. And as far as like being an American though, certain countries, yeah, they have more of a idea that you like of what an American is. So like Ashley and I, what we always do is we just like keep it super low key. Like when we're out there, we're like kick back, chill, not like super loud. Cause bro, like I didn't know Americans were as loud as we were until I traveled. Then I was like, I'd be in a place and all of a sudden someone comes in, they're like, I love this song, and it's like, oh my god,
fucking American. A couple mimosas deep already in the bus, just fucking. And it probably helps that Ashley's Venezuela Colombian.
Yeah,
is that correct? Okay, cool.
Although you know what's a trip, bro? And
I don't know. Tell me.
I'm not trying to get like too into it, but being that Ashley, like she's got like darker skin and stuff. When you're in like the real touristy areas, they're always like nicer to me because I think they see me and they're thinking like. Money, you know what I mean? Like, that's who I gotta please, So then to her, like, they're not mean, but they're just kind of like, mi gente, like
you're one of us here.
Yeah. So, so it's kind of weird, but
so it's almost a perk.
What
would you call it a perk?
It can be a perk, yeah. Although every now and again you do go to some places and people are just like blatantly like, oh, you're American, and you're like, yeah, but
but I'm here.
I'm a good one. I'm a good one.
Yeah. Yo estoy aquí.
Yeah.
Damn, that's nuts, bro.
Yeah.
Your Instagram feed is one of like an influencer's feed, I would say.
Thank you, man.
That like
an organic influencer.
Yeah, an organic influencer.
Not one of these LA GMO.
Right.
And we'll put some reels in here, hopefully some shoots of that. But Acroyoga.
Yeah.
You take shot Okay. Can you define Acroyoga for me? Because I just know it's two people lifting people up.
I mean, that's pretty damn close. But yeah, like, so acrobatic and then yoga, right? So it's like the mix of the two, right? But yeah, it's just partner yoga. So there's like, you could get into all different levels of it. Like you could go more like acrobatic where you see people like throwing each other up, doing flips, like all this crazy stuff. And then you can go like the opposite direction, which is there's like a thing called acropeutics, which is literally just the base. Typically the person laying on the ground will go ahead and like stretch the flyer. And it's nice because you can put them in these stretches that are extra deep where they couldn't get it on the floor, So like, since they're suspended, I can like move Ashley's body in a certain way and like help assist her in a stretch. And like, it's like bliss. Like every time you do it to someone, there's like, oh shit,
Would you say you're closer to that side of the spectrum as opposed to the acrobatic side, or are you also flinging each other around?
We do a little bit of it. We don't get super crazy with it. We tend to stay a little bit more towards like slower, easier stuff because that's also what we teach more, So like, and it's easier for someone to pick that up, Whereas like the crazier stuff, that's like you have to have like a select group of people,
Yeah.
Might have to try it, bro, with our bays.
Isn't that what we're doing right after this?
Oh,
some acro yoga.
Oh shit!
No,
I can try with you.
If you guys want to try, like,
I'll be the flyer.
I'm a little top heavy,
Fuck it.
No, dude. Anytime someone says that though, like Ashley will hop on the ground, and just for reference, Ashley's like 5 foot, 105 pounds. I don't know, somewhere around there, and like she could base me.
And you're like 6'2".
I'm like 6'2", like 215, somewhere around there. So like it's like double her size basically. Yeah.
Dude,
that's awesome. You said that you teach. Are you teaching actively right now?
Yeah, we do like mainly online. We created an online course though. Just because of the whole COVID, we had a lot of family, a lot of friends just like, oh, like shoot us a video or two. We want to try something at the house. So we're like, all right, cool. So we started like filming, but then people were asking for too many different items. We're like, all right, screw this. Like, we're just going to do like a few series of moves, like beginner stuff that would help people. And then we had like quite a collection and we were like, okay, let's put it together and make like an e-course. So we went ahead and we made like an e-course and it's just like kind of for beginners basically to get them into it. Teaches them like how to position yourself, like how you should look, like little tips and tricks.
Is that something you sell?
It is, yeah. It's on
link in bio.
Shameless plug. It's on Teachable, Earth and Air Acro. It's on our Instagram in the bio at Earth and Air living.
You guys are gonna
Click
see
down
it.
there.
You'll
Yeah.
see it on the link.
Yeah.
Dude, hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. And you kind of got into this a little bit before, but you said where you learned was one of the greatest yogis you've ever met.
Yeah.
Can you dive deeper into that?
Yeah, so now going more into the yoga side of this, like we wanted to get our yoga certifications, and so we found a place in Thailand on an island called Koh
Jesus.
Samui. Yeah, and
What's it called?
Koh Samui was the island,
Okay.
but the actual place was called Vakasa. That's the name of the resort, and like, I mean, you're in Thailand on an island, like it doesn't get any better. You know, you're like right on the water. But then the guy we took our courses from, he actually taught the owner of that place, right? So like, okay, like we read his bio and it was like, he has his own style of yoga. He like goes to ashram, spends like years on end there, like super legit. So we're like, okay, cool. We're gonna do this guy's course. So we went out there, and I think both Ashley and I were thinking like, okay, this is gonna be relaxing, like, you know, just listen to your body, like enjoy the stretching, blah, blah. Nah, dude, this guy was legit. He was, he's from Ukraine, and he studied under like Iyengar and stuff. You know what I mean? Like he was going into India back at that time, getting like legit teachings. And so when we were in there, he was like, hold the pose, you can go deeper, you know? And you're just like, oh shit. You know, like I was doing twist one time, and you can bind, which is like grab your hands, right? I wasn't able to like do it on my own, but then you just hear this dude come up to me, and he's like, you can go deeper, and just like pushed me into it. And I was like, oh fuck. Yeah. So he's saying like, you don't do yoga for fun. You do yoga to like progress.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's interesting. But
Bar.
his knowledge on like all yoga theory like blew my mind. Like we would sit there for 4 hours listening to him, and it was just like go by, because it's just like crazy information.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we had it was in 3 parts, and the last part was all about meditation. Whew, man, we did 4.5 hour sessions every day of meditating.
No,
yeah.
and that's what kind of meditation?
So it was mainly a mix of like we had like visualizations. So we're mainly visualizing like chakras, and then you'd also be saying a mantra, and you're like, it's kind of weird. Like you say it super fast. So like there's the actual wording, but then you say it really quick, right? So it just sounds like a hum almost. And then you're also like doing like movements with your body to like activate certain chakras. Yeah, it's like getting really into the meditative stuff.
Just fucking do it.
Yeah, and it was crazy, man. That was like my first time really doing all that. And mainly what I gotta say that I experienced from that was like, dude, you have your brain just wants to think. Like that's all it wants to do all day. And then when you're telling it like, no, like no thinking, I'm gonna like get you trapped in this trance of a thought, you know, and just like bliss out, you know? Dude, memories that you have not even thought about since you were a kid just come up. Like me buying ice cream and cap guns from like the ice cream man when I was like 5 years old, just like pop up randomly and like clear as day, could remember everything. And it's just like your mind was like detoxing kind of, right? So then when you go home after everything's done and you try to go to bed, impossible, dude. Like you're laying there, your mind's just like,
oh no
go,
way.
yeah, because now you're not like, you're relaxed. You're like, all right, cool, I'm done with the day. And then your mind's like, cool, boom, here we go. And it's just like thinking. It's crazy.
Dang.
Yeah.
Damn. And this is 4 hours. This is after the 4 hour session of meditation.
So that was the 4 hour. Like we would wake up, we would do like an hour and a half of like we did some pranayama, which is like breath work, and then we would do this like different kind of meditation where you're doing like cycling of your energy and stuff. And I don't even know how to explain a lot of it. It's kind of weird, like to put it into terms, but yeah, you're like cycling energy through your body, you know, and you're doing these holds, they call them bandhas, right? So you're like contracting certain parts of your body to like push blood flow up to your brain, and it's just a trip. And so you do like an hour and a half of that. That's actually where I felt most of like bodily experiences, because they say to like focus on your touch sensation. And when I was doing those, I definitely like you're supposed to be like sending that energy up your spine, right? And your spine has a lot of these like receptors on it. And at one point, dude, it was like I was cycling it through, and then I just got chills all over my whole body. And it was like almost like not like orgasmic, but it was like like a crazy feel. And like when I felt it, I freaked out. I was like, oh shit. So I just like stopped, you know? But I was like, that was a trip.
But you reached it.
Yeah, like not it. It was like the beginning stage, you know, because basically, I mean, this is like the steps to reach like enlightenment in their terms. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because this guy, like, our teacher, you have to do a retreat to become like a llama. You know what I mean? Like the highest of the high, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is like 3 years of a oath of silence. So you don't talk to anyone. You're in your room at like a cave, basically, and you're just meditating
For 3 years
to get to that level.
No way.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
It's a lot of soul searching.
Yeah.
It's a lot of just self-exposure to yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, how many people freaked out during COVID and like, not freaked out, bad word, but how many people weren't used to being alone during COVID and like couldn't do it for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 3 years?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it back to that sensation feeling. I laughed because I thought about when like Thanos put the last stone on his hand and the Infinity Gauntlet, and he's just like,
yeah.
He got
and
all
just
the
takes
power.
it off, you know.
Did you have any moments during that experience, like that intensive training period, you can call it, where like, did you have any like impactful moments that kind of call out to you right now that you can kind of recall? I mean, that's one of them, you know, you feeling that sensation or anything, or was there anything that was at the forefront of your mind when you walked away from all of that? You're like, damn, I picked this up. I learned this about whether it's myself or anything. I'm sure a lot of them are personal experiences, which we don't have to.
Man, you know, it's just like, it was kind of crazy because our teacher was, he was kind of like trying to like kind of irk you a little bit because he wanted to like test your ego, right? So he would like say certain things and like do certain things where you were kind of like, I don't know, it kind of like would annoy you almost, right? Like he would always like, and he like apologized for this later, but he would always be like, oh yes, Americans, you know, they have this capitalist mindset, you know, all they do is just work, you know, they can never do yoga. They never do yoga because what they do in America, this is just asana practice, which is like, asana is like your poses, right? Like, and it's true, like vinyasa, flow, all these classes, it's like, you're doing your asanas mainly, right? You do shavasana at the end, right? For like 5 minutes where you just lay there.
It's the best part.
Dude, that's why
Honestly,
you do yoga.
Yeah.
Like the whole class, you're supposed to do asanas because you're breaking down your mind, right? To a point where now it's like so exhausted and you're physically drained as well that when you lay down, it's supposed to help you go into the meditative state, right? So that's the whole reason you do yoga.
To get to that Shavasana
To get to Shavasana,
state?
yeah.
Dude.
So our Shavasanas were like 30, 40 minutes every single time. And we would do like a 2-hour class, you know what I mean? Like it was intense. So
would you ever fall asleep during those?
I didn't. There was a guy from Portugal that did. I love that dude. He was so good, but he would knock out and then he would wake up and he'd go, God, I'm so sorry. I was like, you're good to go, chill, man.
Yeah.
But takeaways, like, man, I don't know. It wasn't what I expected. And there were times where Ashley and I were like, dude, like, are we doing the right class and stuff? You know, like, I don't know if this is like for us. This isn't what we expected. And then like after we got through it and we stuck it out, because a lot of people dropped out. Like they couldn't take it. And when we were done, I was like, nah, like, I'm so happy I did that because going through it, I was having like conflicting ideas about stuff, you know, like even just like personal things for myself, you know, like that I kind of just took as like truth, you know, it was like
Can I use a little closer to the mic?
Sorry. I was like, I was really having conflict with that. And when I got through it though, it was, I don't know, it was like, I was really happy that I did that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just for context, how long was it?
It was, I think we started late November and we finished like early January.
Oh wow, it's almost 2 months.
Yeah, because we were there for New Year's for sure, which we didn't even do anything, man. It was like we were in the class and he like had us watching films all late that night and then he was like, all right, go to bed.
Was that this year or like
that was 2019 going into 2020.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So and then after that, it was like we went down to Australia and Indonesia and stuff, and then it was like COVID was hitting, and we got back like 2 weeks before everything shut down. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it was a
barely
trip,
made
dude.
it.
Yeah.
Did you have plans? I mean, I imagine you did since you were out in Australia at that time.
Yeah. Basically, what our plan was, we went there for the teaching, but then also, you'll find this really like interesting. So when we first got to Thailand, we chilled in Bangkok for a few days. Then after that, we went to Siem Reap, Cambodia, and I met up with Sarge. Brody's dad.
No way.
Yeah, dude, because he's out there. He's like living life out there.
Really?
Yeah, it's super chill. And so we went out to Siem Reap, hung out there for...
To Siem Reap? What is that?
Siem Reap, it's a city.
Siem Reap.
Yeah,
Okay.
have you ever heard of Angkor Wat? It's like maybe the biggest temple that we know of right now.
No, I
and
haven't.
it's just massive, dude. Like a crazy huge temple. And there's temples like there's the main one, and then it just like spreads out all like there's a ton. Some that are still undiscovered.
Oh wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we went out there and we like went around the temple. Oh, like Tomb Raider was filmed there with Angelina Jolie
Oh,
at
shit,
one of the
okay.
temples there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so yeah, I saw Sarge. Like he performed at a place one night, did like open night, like open mic karaoke. And
No
not
way.
karaoke. I mean, like he was
Guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was dope, dude.
Let's get Sarge on here. Sounds
yeah.
like a great guy.
Dude, Sarge is all, he's got stories to tell, dude.
I imagine.
Yeah. But,
Sarge is the father of one of our friends who he worked at our high school.
yeah.
So we all kind of knew him, and his son was like captain of the water polo team,
Yeah.
and they won CIF that
Yeah.
year. So it was like a
Wow.
big thing.
Yeah.
But that's crazy
Yeah.
to know that he's out there.
Yeah. And
Wow.
but then yeah, after that we went over to Indonesia and we kind of just hung out there for a while because then we were gonna meet up with our friends from Australia that we met in like Ecuador. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so like a couple years prior we had traveled and we did South America from like Colombia all the way down to Argentina. And we traveled with them for like damn near like 2 months probably out of
Oh,
our like
really?
4.5 month like travel. Yeah. And so we just got really close to them. And so we visited them in Perth, Australia. It's on the western side. And yeah, then we went over to Melbourne, checked that out for a little bit, hung out with some yoga friends that we met at our training. And then, yeah, we flew home from there.
That's crazy because me not being someone who has traveled much, I don't even consider the possibility that you meet a hell of people along the way.
Yeah.
And those are like good friends
Yeah.
that you can just like reach out to later and
Yeah.
be like, yo,
Yeah.
what's up? Oh, you're in Australia? It's all right. Let me
Yeah.
let me go say hi.
Yeah, straight
That's
up.
awesome.
Like that's perks too, you know, because you know most folks I feel like not like outside of this country are very open.
Right.
And I'm assuming you experience that of like once you make friends with someone, it's like, oh, come
Yeah.
to my home,
Yeah.
stay if you want, or where you know a place. And
Yeah.
it's, you reap the benefits of friendship and community. You know, where I
Mhm.
think we can strengthen those here in the States versus
Yeah.
like you go to other states and or countries and it's
Especially here in LA, like just like the big city, it's just kind of like,
you look at
what can
someone
you
and it's
do for
like,
me?
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, what do you do?
Yeah.
And we're not really like,
what do you want?
yeah, what do you
Yeah.
want? And where can I get out of you? And I imagine in a lot of these smaller cities, it's just like the mentality is way different.
Absolutely.
What country did you spend the most time in? And what country would you want to go? Like, could you consider yourself just staying in?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
putting your roots down.
Yeah, these are some good questions. Okay.
We got more coffee?
Yeah.
I can make some more coffee.
Oh, during the break. No,
Yeah.
no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
So I'd say the most time I've spent in a country is going to be somewhere in between probably Colombia and Spain.
Okay.
Because I did spend like a month and a half in Spain. And then I think I've spent about the same time in Colombia in 2 different trips. But yeah, as far as a place for staying, dude, that's so tough. I would say as of right now, if I had to just pick a country and go, it would probably be Australia.
Mhm.
And I would pick Australia because it's very similar to California. Like the
Mm.
whole country is like California in a way. You know, it's like everyone lives on the coast. They're
Mhm.
all like surfers. They all, you know, they're into the health food, all that scene. Coffee is bomb out there. Like Melbourne is like one of the best cities for coffee. It's all like espresso. They don't really do too much of the like pour overs and stuff, which
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find. But dude, just good coffee, good people, and it's like super safe too. I would say being in a big city in another country, it's a trip because everyone's like, oh, don't go into that area. It's the bad area. You know, like, oh, yeah, careful over there. And you're like, you walk through it and you're like, this is like, I would live here. You know what I mean? And then like, you're like, whoa. Like, have you ever been to LA? And they're like,
Yeah.
no. And you're like, oh, okay. So
Yeah.
this is
Lets
what's
you
up.
know.
Like, you
Yeah.
haven't been to Compton. You haven't been to Inglewood. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you don't really know what ghetto is, you know?
Yeah, everyone thinks Hollywood is Hollywood.
Yeah.
No, I mean, imagine, you know, because Hollywood is so, it's just in everyone's eyes. It's so idolized, you know.
Yeah,
Then you get
it's
there,
rainbows and
Hollywood. Like I don't
stars.
have good. I mean, unless I'm trying to go to the clubs at night, Hollywood isn't really a place that I'm trying to be at.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
it's not.
It's dirty. It
I
smells.
describe it to be cold.
Homeless
Like
problem, which is an issue. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. More questions after this break, guys. We're gonna take a quick little intermission, coffee break. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Motherfuckers.